Here we go. We're going to try this again. Yeah, one of those days, one of these weeks. And I just go ahead and start with all transparency. It's migraine mode. I always feel it coming in. And that's the whole point of this live today is being consistent even when you're not feeling well. And thank you all for liking and coming in to this live today. I really do appreciate it. And I will start over one more time. Today's live is the power of consistency even when you don't feel like it. And again, this is Deborah J with Hairbedd's Thoughts, and welcome to Hairbedd's Thoughts, where we focus on healing, self-growth, and becoming the best version of ourselves. So today I want to talk with you about something that we all struggle with, and that's staying consistent even when we don't feel our best. So it's easy to show up when we're motivated, when we're not it's easy to show up when we're motivated and full of energy, right? But what about those days when we're not? When we're tired, we're overwhelmed, we're just not feeling our best. That's when consistency matters the most. Like today, one of those days, right? Well, the truth about progress. So, y'all get in here. Come on in. Welcome into the room. And let me know if y'all can hear me in the comments so we won't have another day like yesterday. So, the truth about progress. And I just tag a few folks in here. Give me just a second. I will tag a few people in here just to make sure so we won't have another day like yesterday. I won't be here talking for 15 or 20 minutes by myself. So I saw Willie, if you can hear me, let me know. Just to make sure. Let's see. I will tag some folks and make sure they can hear me. Let's see, I'm tagging a few people. Tagging a few people and make sure they can hear me. Let's see if they come on in the room. Tag a few people that came in yesterday. Let's see. But yes, so I'll go ahead and get started, and I pray that everyone can hear me. So as you come in the room, or whether you're on Facebook or YT, let me know that you can hear me. I will greatly appreciate it. Just put a one or comment in the comments or something to let me know that you can hear me. And I will greatly appreciate that. So again, the truth about progress when you're not feeling your best and when you're trying to be consistent. Growth isn't about being perfect every day. It's about doing something, just something. Even if you like if you doing a little small thing, just as long as you're moving forward. Forward moving. I mentioned something about that this morning on one of my posts. Even if you're doing something moving forward, you're still making progress. Like if you're not feeling well, instead of just skipping your goal entirely, just do a lighter version of it. Just do something like, say you wanted to um, go work out and do a full, hour workout at the gym. Just shorten this on, do a 30-minute workout or 20-minute workout. Just do something. You don't have to give up entirely. Just do a little bit. Or if you meant to journal in your book, if you don't feel like writing a whole 2 or 3 pages, just write a few sentences, just something, so that you're keeping some kind of progress. Or if you got low energy, just focus on restorative actions like deep breathing, or just like doing a little bit of reading to, give you some inspiration, things like that, or just simply reflecting on your progress, just something to just keep you going, keep your momentum going. That's fine if you got low energy or if you got emotional burnout, which is a thing, especially when you're not feeling well. Give yourself a little grace, like I'm having to do myself. Like I said, the I'm not in full on migraine, but I'm feeling a little there. It's getting there. So I gotta give myself a little grace. So still I can do something small, like I'm making myself get up here on camera and staying dedicated and determined and doing my live, doing my content, and continue with my goals and, going forward, right? Because consistency, is about doing all of it, but just not quitting, right? So I'm getting up here and I'm doing my time, giving my time, right? Because I have goals to achieve. So with that being said, again, like, with my personal experiences, like I said, there have been days where I can't get up and do anything sometimes. I have those days where I gotta just shut down and just get in the bed, get under the covers, shut the lights off, and that's a wrap. But for the most part, I can fight it. I can get up here and I can focus for a little bit, you know, 15, 20 minutes or so at a time. And I can focus, I can do that. And then I shut down and I gotta go. Gotta lay down. And that's it. Concentration's off, all that stuff. That's migraine world, migraine life. I talk about it a little bit. I don't talk about it as often. Maybe it's much needed. I may do a whole live one day just talking about migraines or, and what people typically go through who suffer from migraines. Let me know if y'all want to hear more about that. If it's an interest, and I will do something like that. So just let me know in the comments. And please let me know if y'all can hear me. So there won't be a thing like yesterday. Let me know that y'all can hear me. And I would definitely talk about that more. I promise you that. And so again, like I said, today we're just talking about showing up even when you're not feeling well, when you're not feeling like it. And so another thing again, like I said, when you're not feeling well and why showing up matters. Showing up matters because it shows your progress, and progress is not perfection, right? Progress is not perfection. So remind yourself why you're showing up, why you're showing up, right? Keep your vision in mind. What is your reasoning for showing up? Why is why did you show up? What's your whole purpose for doing what you're doing? Me, I get on here to my whole purpose when I started Harabed's Thoughts and writing my books, my poetry and everything. I had to get those thoughts out of my head and then putting them in a book. I was like, I know if I get these books, get these poems in a book. Yeah, initially I was like, okay, I write my book and I'll sell my books and I'll help a bunch of people and I'll make a lot of money. Hey, Tia, how you doing? Thanks for coming on, sis. I was like, I'll write these poems and put them in a book and I'll make a lot of money and I'll help a lot of people. All that went in together. You got to remember your why. That helps you to stay consistent and helps your, build your momentum. When showing up, talking about showing up even when you don't feel like it. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, I got you in between sessions. I got you. Thank you for popping in. Glad you came in. But that's what we're talking about. Showing up when you don't feel good and but being consistent with that. And I know, of course, and doing the bare minimum if needed. Sometimes a little effort is better than none at all. Just show up because they're still showing that you did something. Because you could have just not done anything, just be MIA, right? And it was like, oh, where's she at? Where is she? She's non-existent. But no, you show up. Let the people know you're still there. You're still relevant. You're still with them, so that they know something. And keep it real with people. When you're not feeling well, you're not your best self. Let people know. They gotta know something. If you're gonna build a platform, build a relationship with people, let people know when you're not your best. Let them know when you're not feeling well. You're trying to show them something. You're trying to help people, uplift them. Don't just leave them hanging and drop them off and like, oh, well, she's gone here today, gone tomorrow. There's nothing. Why were we even listening to her? Why were we even following her? Let people know what's going on. Or they're not gonna show up for you no more. They're gonna say she stopped showing up, so why are we gonna show up? You got to let people know what's going on. So even on those days when you're not feeling well, still show up. Because showing up might mean, some days showing up means taking a bold action. And other days it might just mean getting out of bed. Just get up out of bed, you know, take a deep breath and try again. But both of those count. Both of those count. So don't ever feel like, oh, well, all I did was get up out of bed. You still did something. So both of those are valid. You still did something. You got up out of bed. Right. You have taken days. Right. Sometimes you have to take those days off. I get it. Believe me, probably tomorrow I'll probably be taking a day off too. But I was like, and I started to do this live. I started to not do it as a live. I started to do it as a pre-recorded and like, okay, I don't feel like just really talking to the people. I'm just gonna record it and just let it be. But then I was like, no, okay, I'm gonna push myself because I ain't quite in migraine mode, but I feel like I'm getting there. But I said, no, I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna push it. But tomorrow might not be the same. So I was like, I'm gonna keep on until I just can't, because once I get full in there, girl, I ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody. I might not even be able to pre-record. I'll be probably making some clips from a video or something. Right? You took off today, and you have to. You have those days where you have no choice but to take off. You have to, because sometimes your body just says, "Okay, look." And I have to remind myself of that too. That you have to take those days where you do really have to take those self-care. Because I talked about self-care the other day, where you do have to make that self-care time and take care of yourself. So I do understand that too. But as far as like with being consistent, I am trying to be more consistent with my platform and building my platform, and just being there for people, and showing them that I truly am here, that I'm not just a fly by night, that I'm here to grow with them and show them that I am really real. And that's what I'm doing today. Just letting them know that I'm gonna be here and I'm not going nowhere. But yeah, some days it's gonna be. That's why I share it with them. I say I share my life out loud, because I am gonna have those days. I suffer from migraines. I am gonna have those days, sometimes those weeks where I'm not able to do anything. That's a big reason why I try to get the careers and things like the jobs where I can be flexible, where I don't have that. I need jobs where that I can have a flexible schedule, that I can work around me and my life, where if I'm not feeling well, that I don't have to work every day, that I don't have to get up on camera every day, or I don't have to perform the particular job every day, because if I'm having a migraine, I can't do anything. And so that's another reason, building even this platform on YouTube and even on Facebook, building these platforms, so the content is up there, the content is still generating income, building a solid income, because life is still going on, regardless of health issues and things like that. And so I continue to try and grow in those areas, and even with my books and things like that, I still put those out there as well. You plug in, y'all can go to Amazon, or y'all can visit my website, hermitsthoughts.com. Got to put that out there, got it up here in my caption. But like, yeah, because I mean, life is life, and we still all got to provide for ourselves, take care of ourselves, and that's how life is, right? We got to take care of ourselves. We definitely got to take care of ourselves, because the way this world is right now, like, we don't even know Social Security gonna be around forever. And it ain't much. Thankfully, my parents are retired military, so they ain't struggling as much as some senior citizens are struggling. But I mean, right, some senior citizens, and I used to be an insurance agent, and a lot of senior citizens are like, in shambles, trying to make ends meet. Some of them can't even pay for their medicine half the time, and they don't work their whole life. So it's not right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, okay, good. We need to connect, girl. We need to connect. We need to connect. Okay. Yes, awesome. That is amazing. Yes, I have two poetry books, and I have a memoir that I wrote as well. Yes, definitely. I'm so proud of you, because it takes a lot to actually write the book, and and get it together and everything, and put your heart. You're basically pouring your heart out, putting everything out on paper. So yeah, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. And yes, it takes a lot to, really put yourself out there and write your book, put your thoughts out on paper. And I know you know, and with a lot of work that you do. So yes, I'm proud of you for that. But yeah, I put my heart out there with my poetry first, and then my first poetry book, I wrote that when I was going through the beginning of my divorce, and I had to write all my thoughts, my emotions, everything. I put it all out there, and I hurried up and wrote that book. It's like everything I was feeling, I wrote it down and wrote a poem, wrote a poem, wrote a poem, wrote a poem, and then I wrote it. It's like 30 something. I think it's like 36 pages of poems, and then and I just hurried up and published it. And like I said, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write this book and I'm gonna publish it, and yeah, everybody's gonna love it, and I'm gonna be rich, and all this stuff, And here I am, 6 years later, I'm rich in love. But my book does touch people. I've had, lots of people read it and purchase it, and and they can feel the emotions, and that's the whole point of it. If I can just touch somebody with my words, then that blesses me. It helps someone, that it can feel it. And then I went on, several years later, and I wrote another poetry book as I went through the stages of navigating dating in my 40s and going through the divorce and living life as a single woman, learning how to be single in my 40s and dating in my all that stuff. I wrote about that in the second poetry book, and I took like 3 years to write that one. And that was like, yeah, it was all my experiences and things like that. I wrote about friendships, dating, all that. I wrote about that. Being an empty nester. There's a lot of stuff in there in that one, and I wrote about that. Because I took my time with that one over a span of like about 3 years, and put that book out. And that one was nice to write. And then yes, I always say if my story could just touch, right, exactly, if it could just touch just one person, that's all it takes. Then I'm good. And if we touch a few more people, then that's even extra icing on the cake, right? Just a little extra icing on the cake, and then I'm good. So yeah, that's all it is. That's all it takes. And but yeah, so after that, then I got into, after my divorce was over, I got into a relationship with a young man, and actually cohabitated and everything. And that one, the Lord said you can't write poetry for this one. And I wrote that one full out of the experience and all the stuff that I went through in that relationship. And that was more like a memoir, like slash self-help type, where I wrote it full out of what I actually went through in that relationship, from love, hate, DV, all kind of stuff is in that book. The whole relationship, basically, I wrote about it, and hopes to help another woman prevent them from going through the same things that I went through. And I wrote it in that book. And that's a rose wrapped in thorns. And I put it out there, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of my mistakes as well. If you live and you learn. And hopefully it'll bless another person. And yeah, hopefully it'll bless another person and prevent them from going down the same road. And if and that blesses me to bless them. And I shared my story, and I'm working on another poetry book as well. So I continue to share my story, write my books, and share how God leads me to share. And that's what it's all about. I allow Him to lead me and guide me, and that's where I go from there. But share my story and just being consistent and sharing my story, and how God leads me, and He leads me to share to whoever needs to be shared to touch whoever needs to be touched. That's what it's all about. He brings people together for a reason. Just how, like, I didn't even know that you were working on a book. You never know who you meet and everything. So that's a blessing. I count that as a blessing. But yeah, I count that as a true blessing. So, but yeah, so just again, like I said, just showing up. We all need to show up. Every day, show up every day, be consistent, show up as much as possible. Do what works for you. I mean, I know everybody has different schedules, different lives, different things going on in their lives, but just be consistent with everything that you do. in life in general. Just be consistent. Whatever it is that you got going on, be consistent. Be steadfast. Keep at it, and right, exactly. Stay with it. But I just want to this week. I just want to challenge everyone. I know it's not the beginning of the week. I know today is Thursday. Okay, so full on well, right? I got you. You're a DV survivor as well, so full on well, yes. And in my marriage, I would say it was just emotional, but in that relationship there, it was physical. And I thank God I made it out of that. And yeah, healing. I won't say healed. It's always a healing, process. But I thank God I made it out of it, and the Lord protected me, and yeah, so full on well, how the experience can take a toll on you. And I thank God that you're here and we're able to, talk to as well. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to say, that you are a survivor. And some people say an overcomer, that's a blessing. It truly is a blessing. So yes, girl, we may talk offline someday, but it's definitely a blessing. Definitely a blessing. Like I said, God brings like-minded people together. You never know until you talk with people, and like I said, get up here and open up your mouth and speak. You never know, what you have in common with someone, and what things that'll bring people together. But God brought us all here to not stay silent, to not just sit there. He brought us here for community, to commune with one another, fellowship with one another. And I definitely believe strongly in that, because keeping your mouths closed and not talking to each other and not sharing things, that doesn't get anything healed. It doesn't get anything helped solved or anything like that. You got to talk to one another. You got to share things. You got to open up about stuff, or you'll never get healed. And things don't get better that way. I definitely believe in that. So with that being said, yes, exactly. Of course, we definitely can connect. Definitely, we'll comment. We'll connect in the other inboxes. But with that being said, this week I would like to challenge everyone, and if you all catch this later in the replay, or just reach out to me in the comments, I would like to challenge you all to show up for yourself in one small way every single day. So just drop me a comment and let me know what you're going to commit to. So just let me know whether it's on Facebook or here on YouTube. Just drop me a comment and let me know what you're going to commit to. So if this message spoke to you, just again hit that like button or the heart button and share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more content on healing, self-growth, and perseverance. And I will see you all in the next video. So again, subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching. And I had a wonderful time talking with you all. And again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.